Mars Girl.
I'm Josh Knight the First.
This is Beyond the Black Rims, Season 6, Episode 12.
Or Episode 130 if you're counting.
We also have, as you can tell, guest here. Welcome CosmeticQT to the show.
Hello, people persons.
So, a lot of really strange, new, interesting things happening today. Hope we're coming in loud and clear. I'm sure you guys will let us know if we are not. And I know there's not a lot of you here tonight, because if you're here with us live right now, you know that it is Wednesday and not Thursday.
And we have a very good reason. Now, normally we do our shows Thursday nights at 9 o'clock Central here on this channel, but we're doing this on Wednesday for a very good reason. I don't know if you guys can tell, we're all kind of wearing a certain kind of dog tag here from the Avengers. As many of you know, Captain America Civil War is set to come out at the beginning of next month on May 6th. Well, as luck would have it, we're seeing that joint tomorrow. So, yeah.
Oh my god, I can't even believe this is real. There are very few cities in the United States, and one in Canada, that are doing these early premiere showings of Captain America Civil War, and just, oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't believe we managed to wrangle these tickets, and this is freaking amazing. This is 3 weeks early, guys.
Yeah, because the premiere was just last night out in LA with most of the cast there, and so this is the first any of the major public is going to get to see this movie, and we are beyond hyped over here. We're kind of freaking the hell out.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing the show tonight, but that does not mean we're going to bring you any less of a good show. We're still bringing you a full episode tonight. And then afterwards, we're going to do our Q&A for 30 minutes, as normal. So everybody calm down. It's going to be fine.
And really, CosmeticQT being here tonight, you've got quite a bit of background yourself recently, as far as especially Marvel Cinematic Universe is concerned.
Oh yeah.
A lot of homework you've done recently, huh?
Oh yeah. And like I haven't done it just on the Avengers either. I know a lot about like Black Panther, who I know they're introducing in Civil War, which I can't wait for. And then I also know a little bit about Doctor Strange and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can bet no spoilers. There will be vlogging. There's going to be 2 separate vlogs. One is going to be spoiler free, and that will go up, after we have seen
fairly
it, of course.
soon after we get out of after this movie. We'll also do a spoiler one.
We'll save the spoiler one for the week that it actually officially launches for the general North American populace. So,
Yes.
Yeah. And yes, we're all going to be sticking around here tonight all the way through lightning round of Q&A session.
Yes.
So if you're here live with us, yeah, it's going to be... which, by the way, thank you so much, as always, to the Patreon contributors over at patreon.com/MarsGirl. You guys make this show and all kinds of other stuff I do possible. So thank you so much. Wouldn't be able to do any of this without you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else cool going on before we talk about other news and junk?
Partly also, one of the other reasons CosmeticQT is on today is that the two of us actually have videos together.
Videos, yeah.
That just went up today on my channel. You can go over and see the soda challenge video. She challenged me to a blind taste test of 10 sodas to see who had the better taste buds of being able to guess.
And it ranged anywhere from to bleh!
Some of those are nasty, not gonna lie.
Like, I tried some of those afterwards. I was not blindfolded, but, oh my god, I would not have bought some of those willingly. This was just to throw you guys off, and I am so sorry. Some of them I didn't realize were going to be as bad for you as they ended up being.
Yeah, and now you know why I don't like artificial grape.
Understood.
Yeah.
But that's over on my channel. And then on CosmeticQT's channel, she's got her own video featuring me, which is a bit different.
You're actually technically in 2 of my videos. One of them...
Sort of.
One of them leading into the blindfolded makeup challenge.
Yes.
And yes, this handsome man right here voluntarily went up to me and said, "Put makeup on me."
Yeah, so that's...
Blindfolded, mind you.
By the way, it should be noted.
Yeah, we're not...
His skin tone, my skin tone.
Yeah, we don't exactly match over here, and I gotta tell you, you behind the camera turning as red as this shirt, and I can tell that without my glasses on.
It was one of the most hilarious things I ever had to be silent for. It was really painful to not be allowed to laugh from behind camera. It was awful. But it's so good. It was so worth it.
If any of you guys get the reference, Mimi Bobek is what I'm saying to you right now.
Am I ready, Mama?
Yeah, that'll be something that probably gets yelled at me now from people having watched this video. But I'm ready for it. I'm prepared.
All right.
Oh man.
So those are major things that have happened with us recently.
Yes.
I guess we should actually talk about what our major news stories are going to be.
I guess we can go ahead and do that. Okay, so tonight, as some of you guys might have seen over on Twitter, tonight is Night of 1,000, more like 4 trailers. We had a ton of trailers show up this week, which is going to be the focus of our show. Our first trailer that we're going to talk about is, of course, the latest Suicide Squad trailer, new from Warner Brothers Pictures. I'm going to talk to you guys about that, a little bit more or not of the story, and see how that plays out.
And we got a couple more trailers.
The second one revolves around green reptiles.
Yeah, so both Ninja Turtles, their second movie,
Out of the Shadows,
had a new trailer release, and then I think just today,
a few hours ago,
this Shin Godzilla or Godzilla Resurgence
Resurgence
trailer just dropped, and it's a thing. So I'm gonna kind of talk about.
It's something.
Yeah, it's something. we're gonna kind of cram both of those near each other since they're large reptilian.
They're large and reptilian, but they were kind of short, so we kind of stuck them together there. Mm-hmm. And then our last story, of course, this debuted last night on Jimmy Kimmel Live. The first look at Doctor Strange, the latest Marvel movie coming out later this year in November. We're going to talk about that, how the look of the movie feels, how Benedict Cumberbatch is doing in the role, and we'll definitely have a lot for all 3 of us to come at you with.
It should also be noted that, in terms of Doctor Strange, the only real reference I have is the cartoon, that movie that they want.
The animated Marvel one.
Which is actually another good reason why you're here, because I haven't even seen that. I actually know very little about Doctor Strange, so I can only talk about
differing levels of expertise.
Yeah, I can talk about it from a level of this looks like a cool movie.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So I guess...
And it should also be noted that, don't smite me in fandom, but I don't know anything about Benedict Cumberbatch.
That's where I come in. I got that covered.
I know some things about Benedict Cumberbatch.
All right, but we'll save that for the last story.
Yes. But I guess we got some follow-ups, right?
Follow-ups.
Follow-up time.
All right, let's go.
What's our first thing?
Okay. So normally our first story is going to be Not Quite Justice League, and we have some stuff related to that, but because of events this past weekend, we're going to lead off with this as our first story. So, as much of the internet is aware, unfortunately this weekend we lost somebody, singer Koji Wada, who is most famous for singing Butterfly, the opening theme to Digimon, passed away on Sunday. He was only 42 years old.
There, we got a picture of him here.
From
Sorry,
upper pharynx cancer. You know, for so many years, people like the Digimon fans, the Digidestined out there everywhere, knew this song. You know, it was an anthem.
Despite the fact that really American fans don't necessarily know his work if they never went and delved further into Japanese side of things. But man, even though I watched very little Digimon, of course I knew Butterfly. Yeah. Butterfly is an amazing song, and they remade it for this most recent Digimon 15-year anniversary series they just put out.
Yes. And of course his talent agency Solid Vox will be holding a what they call a farewell event later on this month for fans to come and pay their respects to Koji Wada. So from us here at the show, as fans of his work, both there in Digimon and in other series, you know, you will be missed. Moving on to the rest of our follow-ups, let's go ahead and get back, unfortunately, to Not Quite Justice League. Get it up there. There we go. Okay, so this weekend, Not Quite Justice League, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice saw another drop. And
to be expected. To be expected.
It was beaten out just slightly by a few $1,000s to Melissa McCarthy's The Boss, which came out at number 1. So
which
they are
a ridiculously different kind of movie.
Yes, but that was in, I believe, it was the $23 million range. So they have dropped significantly. And now...
And you still haven't seen it, right?
No, I have not.
Do you plan to see it?
I talked my coworker out of seeing it. What makes you think I'm going to?
Okay,
that's not.
We respect
a
that
bad
opinion here.
Yeah.
We totally respect that opinion here. But yeah, that's on that lesser end of not quite Justice League news. On the higher end, connected to that, it was confirmed last night through multiple sources that Ben Affleck has in fact been signed on to direct his solo Batman movie for Warner Brothers and DC.
That's very interesting. I mean, I trust him as a director. So here's hoping that he comes out a more impressionable Batman. Like, he wasn't a horrible Batman, he was still kind of mischaracterized in this telling, but maybe he can kind of fix that.
One, I respect him as an actor. Two, I like him as a director. And then, by most accounts, with all the problems in the movie, he's not the most problematic thing. His portrayal, you can separate his portrayal from what obviously the writers, kind of pulled apart. Like, okay, make him do this and that. But at the core, he's got what Batman needs to be Batman.
Right.
So on that level alone, I'm feeling positive about that. I can officially say I'm positive about his solo movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yes. Okay. And other related news. Okay. Again, to confirm, this past Tuesday, 2 days ago, Justice League vs. Teen Titans came out officially on DVD and Blu-ray. I have a copy.
We still haven't watched it, right?
We still haven't watched it yet, but everything I'm hearing is great. There's a DDR scene in there, apparently, so there's something for you.
There's a DDR scene, okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Or a parody.
Dancing! Woo!
Yeah,
Yeah.
dance pads.
Go for it. Okay, moving on to the Marvel news. Let's get past that.
Yes.
Okay, Marvel news. So, over on the Netflix side of things, Charlie Cox, who plays Matt Murdock / Daredevil there on Netflix, has confirmed that later this year they will go into production on the Defenders. So we will not get Daredevil Season 3 before we get Defenders. They're doing that next.
Interesting.
So what we've got now is Luke Cage is in post right now. They're getting ready to start filming for Iron Fist. So once they're done with Iron Fist, they're going right into the Defenders.
Oh, okay.
So we have that to expect. As far as storylines are concerned, he said he's not quite sure yet. He hasn't gotten the script which things they're going to carry over from the end of Daredevil Season 2. And for you guys who have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Moving on to some other news. The big news out of CinemaCon just this week, Spider-Man. Okay, so two things really. Right here we have...
And head's in the way again.
You're
Yes.
fine. You're not
It's
too
fine.
in the way at all.
The official title and logo for the upcoming Marvel movie. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay,
that
we get
plainly looks like Spider-Man's very very normal font that they have used for many things.
Oh, yeah, it kind of looks like the Spectacular Spider-Man font, but yeah, it's recognizable. And then the O being, of course, the Spider-Man mask symbol.
Yeah, and the fact that it's called Homecoming, don't
Well,
think we didn't
Yeah,
catch it. We
okay,
understand
fine.
he belongs.
He's in high school, we get it, and yeah, he's coming home to Marvel.
He belongs with Marvel, where he should always
Welcome home, Underoos!
Thank
Yes.
you. It should have never been under Fox to begin with.
Yeah.
So glad that Marvel's got him back.
The other thing being, of course, as some of you there know in the audience, Michael Keaton is apparently in talks, or perhaps final talks, to play the villain in the movie. A lot of speculation pointing that he would be Adrian Toomes, a.k.a. the Vulture. So I'm not sure. He's not my first pick for Adrian Toomes. Normally I would have gone with somebody like, honestly, John Malkovich.
I'm
He might be
seriously
too old.
horrible with playing this. Who would you get to play? I'm
I just do
even
this in my...
worse.
I'm terrible at that game.
I love that
It's
game.
the
I
worst
play.
game.
I play by myself because I have to. I don't have a choice. But yes, we have that to look forward to. Again, a very strong cast, and in addition to that, they have confirmed from the heads of Marvel that it's not just going to be a solo Spidey movie. Anybody who showed up in any of the other Marvel movies, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, what have you, are absolutely free to show up. They want to show the interconnectivity of these movies, so it's not like he's just going to be like the old movies where he's a lone Spider-Man in New York. No, you're going to see Tony fly by. You're going to see
Good.
Vision in the background or something
Sweet.
to that
That would be
extent.
so fun.
That'd be awesome.
That's what we've been wanting. Ever since the first Spider-Man movie came out back in 2002, that's what we wanted to see.
Yeah,
More
but he
than
was
just-
never allowed to collaborate with them. At the very least, could they have just mixed up some Fantastic Four for just a second?
There was the possibility of that back in the day, but now he's free of that, and now he's with the rest of the family.
We
But
don't
now-
talk about Fantastic Four right now.
But now...
Yeah, leave them out of this.
Now I feel sorry for Fantastic Four, because at least Spider-Man is getting his opportunity.
Well-
Fantastic Four is having a real hard time right now.
Well,
now
then-
they have to be left all by themselves.
Have you seen Chris Evans now?
But he's
Well,
better off
that's a
where
whole
he is
nother
right now.
that's a whole nother argument.
He's far
there.
better off where he is right now.
So, moving on to some other news. This is another bit of news out of CinemaCon that started, as far as I'm concerned, as a joke, but now it looks like, no, they were serious about this. So, they are confirming MIB-23 out of Sony Pictures, which is the official Men in Black 21 Jump Street crossover movie. And we've talked to you guys about some Men in Black stuff before, but this is like... No.
Allow me to make a motion.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
why?
I can't figure...
I don't understand.
At the end of the last movie, 22 Jump Street, there's a bunch of fake posters for all the later on sequels.
That should hurt.
Hey, careful there. For all the later on sequels of the 21 Jump Street franchise. And most people thought, oh, okay, that's a joke. But the directors there... Lord and Miller, they were saying, "Oh no, these are canon. We fully intend on making these." And we're like, "Okay, yeah, right." And then we hear this announcement. It's like, "Oh, you guys are serious? Why?
Why?
Like,
I don't understand. But okay.
I don't understand either.
Because
but
somebody made a joke once, and then they were like, "Oh, okay."
Be careful what you say online, people.
yeah, exactly. That's how Sharknado got made. I mean, like, really, come on. Okay, so
Seriously?
there's that
Why you
to.
got me
I'm sure. Yeah.
There's that to look forward to, I guess. Okay, moving on to some game news. We had another character added to the Final Fantasy Dissidia arcade game in the form of Garland, who's...
He's the very first villain in the very first... Well, he's the main villain in the very first Final Fantasy game. Yeah, he's an addition. I still haven't played this arcade game. I don't think when we were even out there, like, it had been released already, hadn't it?
No, it came out after we got back.
It came out after we got back.
Because we went in September, it came out at the end of November.
So I've never seen or played the arcade game. Really, Dissidia is not my favorite Final Fantasy tie-in game ever. But... I mean, Garland looks the way Garland's supposed to look. The video footage has him pitted against main character Warrior of Light based on Amano's artwork. I would have really preferred it if it was the in-game artwork with the red coloring, but you know what? They went with Amano's artwork. That's okay, I guess. And it uses an updated version of Garland's final boss battle music as its fight music. Like it looks,
that's pretty cool.
It looks flashy and stuff, and like it's a fighting game. It's yay. If you're into Dissidia, if you're into Quesadilla, then you're perfectly allowed to go out there. This is launching 21st of April.
So
April
a week from tomorrow.
Yeah. So if you're in Japan, go for it.
Or if you're going, go play.
If you're going, do play Dissidia.
Okay, so moving on to some other news. So we've had a little bit more news about the upcoming Gyakuten Saibon 6, or as we note over here, Ace Attorney 6. And we've got to look at one returning character and one new character. So Emma Sky's coming back to the game, and she has finished law school apparently and is now her own investigator. Looking much more, I guess you'd say womanly, but not like...
She's an adult. That's all there is to it. She's an adult.
The interesting addition is the character, in Japanese her name is Minuki Naruhodo. Over here we're translating that as Trucy Wright, who is a magician girl that Phoenix adopted.
Now, granted, I didn't play 5, so I don't know.
Yeah, I might be out of the loop here.
I don't remember him adopting a child, but cool. He has a daughter now who's like
a magician.
How old is she?
It doesn't actually mention how old she is.
Because she doesn't look 9, so she's probably a teenager.
More than likely.
Yeah.
But I guess you can now solve cases with magic. Ooh.
Yeah, there's always some new little crooks to an addition to the investigating in each one of the games.
Right.
You've
Each their own. That's all I gotta say. I mean,
you've used,
if you like magic, you like magic.
And in some of the previous games, it was like spirit sort of energy. Being able to read people's emotions has been a thing. So yay! Now we've introduced magic too.
Okay, great.
That's cool.
Okay, so moving on to some Star Wars news. Of course, Episode 8 is filming right now over there in Pinewood, England. Thankfully, this weekend for Daisy Ridley's birthday, who just turned 24.
Happy birthday, Daisy.
Yes, happy birthday. We had this picture come out of her and her, I guess now, master, Mark Hamill. We have the picture here, right?
Oh, yeah, we do.
Do I need to duck down again?
No.
It's fine.
No, you're good. It's just out of here. Which, of course... mimics Luke's training with Yoda there in The Empire Strikes Back. This picture,
you go.
of course,
Yeah.
having hit Twitter from Mark Hamill's official account, has seen multiple manips. Some putting his face on Daisy and Daisy's face on him, putting the Joker's face, putting Yoda's face, putting Luke on young Luke, so far and so forth, yes. A lot of
So
manips.
on and so forth.
So on and so forth.
Is the
Yes, I
words
can
you were
talk.
looking for.
I know words.
Yes.
Yes, but we have that to look forward to. This, of course, being a testament to the amazing training that Daisy Ridley is doing. Have you seen her Instagram?
Yes.
The daily training she's doing.
She can
She's-
deadlift.
She is swole now. And that's
It's very
pretty
impressive.
awesome. Yeah, that's pretty
Ray is
impressive.
Bay.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Ray is Bay, yes. Okay, and the last thing
Oh,
we're
no.
going to talk to you about is a new clip, I guess we'll call it. Well, not really a clip. It's a picture from the upcoming Ninja spin-off movie, Nin Boys versus Nin Girls. Now, right there, you'll see Shiro Ninja and Momo Ninja, but they're not people. They're cartoons. This is, of course, being there's a collaboration there with the creators of Precure, which is the
Which is
series
short for Pretty Cure.
which is the series that comes on immediately after superhero time every Sunday morning over there. So there will apparently be an animated portion for the girls in the movie. And
oh boy!
it's not that far-fetched, really. Like, Precure, for what it is, it's like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, but very girl-centric.
No.
Oh, you have a better way of explaining it?
It's a cartoon for little girls.
Well, yeah,
It's-
neither. But it's always very. Do we have a comparison over here? Like, was it Witch?
Winx?
Witch or
Wings
not
Club?
Winx Club? Yeah,
I
there
just
you
said
go.
that. Winx.
Winx Club, yeah, the full name there. But yeah, we have that to look forward to. So
Which technically, Winx is not American either. It's European of some variety, and we dubbed it.
we got it on Netflix though, right?
I don't know.
Pretty
I
sure
don't
we do.
look up Winx Club, Josh. I'm a 30-year-old woman. I don't watch Winx.
Well, yeah, well, I'm a
neither.
30-year-old man and I watch kids shows. So what's your excuse?
I'm 27 and I don't even watch. I don't do that.
That's fine.
You're
Anyway, get it out of here. That's
and
a
I just
follow-up.
revealed I'm the baby.
It's okay.
Yeah, but like that much, it's negligible.
It's Italian. Okay, yeah, it's Italian.
Oh, it's Italian. Okay, great.
All right.
Okay,
so
let's
we've
get
got,
to our-
We've got main stories that we need to actually.
Yes.
What was our first one?
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Let's get the Suicide Squad trailer up somewhere. That's Doctor Strange. That's Ninja Turtles. That.
Admittedly, we got a lot to
is
go through.
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad,
Just
okay.
kind of got on a loop right here, right now.
Hi.
Okay, so what you guys are seeing behind our heads is the latest, what's titled as the Blitz trailer for Suicide Squad. This dropped on this weekend, straight from the MTV Movie Awards, trying to give us more of a picture of the humor in the movie, I guess, is one way of looking at it.
It was a better way of editing it than the first trailer, I think.
I will agree to that.
That doesn't mean that this is a perfect trailer. Like, take, for example, that Joker laugh there at the beginning.
Like,
Barnabas!
yeah, he sounds like Master Roshi kind of a little bit. Because the
Yeah.
thing about it is, like, I guess we're going to just jump right into it. The Joker is not very prevalent in this trailer. They try to make it feel like... That's pretty much exactly how it sounds. Yeah, the Joker here, I'm not at all threatened by him. Because I think of
No.
every previous iteration of the Joker, and there was something to it,
He's
you know?
not scary. He's not, yeah, you're right, threatening.
He's not really imposing. In all the
I do kind of
advertising,
want to laugh at him, though.
but not for the right reasons.
No, it's
though.
not for the right reasons.
Because you take it back,
He's too funny.
the two other movies,
Maybe that's it. He looks funny to me.
but not the right kind of
No,
funny
it's
though.
not the
That's
right kind
the
of
thing.
funny.
Not the creepy funny. It's the wow, you're so bad. I want to laugh. Creepy funny.
It's
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Something like that, because you're looking at him there. I'm not so much feeling the weight, because you see Harley reacting when she, I guess, supposedly hears the laugh, like like here he comes. But even then, I don't feel like the trailers are showing me the weight of their relationship. I mean, we see that we're probably going to see the origin of Harley Quinn from the Joker, having her treat him at Arkham,
And
then
him
eventually
manipulating her, yeah.
exactly, and that needs to be a big part, at least tying back to that. But even so, I don't think he's... Is he really that capable? Is he really that charismatic? Because if there's something you could say at least about, say, Jack Nicholson's Joker, he was a charismatic Joker.
Yeah, in his own strange way. Some people have since rejected him, but...
No, I think he's good for what... He's the very mobster portion.
Yeah.
Those roots there. Whereas you know, of course, you know, you can't not talk about the Joker, not talk about Heath Ledger's Joker, which kind of changed things so much so that the comics started feeding off that, oh, you want him a little more grungy, you want him very real and visceral. Okay, we can do that. We can draw him like that. We can make him tougher. Okay, fine. But this one, I don't even... He's the Hot Topic Joker. Like, I'm not gonna lie about it.
I guarantee you, as soon as the movie actually drops, you know, the week of, Hot Topic is gonna start filling up with...
I'm a little late for that.
Oh, they're already doing it?
I can vouch. I was just there yesterday, actually. Yeah, they already got stuff creeping in.
Dang, they got started early.
Yeah, and it's not till August this comes out, so they're jumping on that pretty quickly. And the other thing about it, of course, looking at the rest of the team together, you know, Katana, Deadshot, and of course Harley here, this is the first we're getting to hear of really the accent that people recognize Harley for, going all the way back to Arlene Sorkin's portrayal in Batman the Animated Series, which I'm thankful I'm finally starting to hear.
Yes.
Because, you know, some people were a little worried off the last trailer. She doesn't have it. Like, it's so recognizable now. Like, you have to do it. I mean, there's something to interpretation, like, say, with the Joker. Jared Leto's free to do his own voice, but when it comes to Harley, there's only really two voices that we know for Harley.
Hey, Puddin'.
Exactly.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Like, I'm waiting for her to, in a flashback or at some point when she sees him, greet him, hey, Puddin', you know, something like that. The other thing about it is they're trying to push the humor, trying to push the action. I still don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, what exactly is their task? I don't understand.
Because
I still don't know.
We know from the last trailer, and now this one kind of reiterating it, they're sent to a city by Amanda Waller, and they're given the rules, if you guys, you know, break these rules, we kill you. Okay, fine, that's just how the Suicide Squad works. What are you doing? Because they're fighting somebody. It's some sort of weird...
Batman for a second.
Yeah, Batman's in there.
But I feel like it's not that they're fighting Batman, it's just Batman kind of decided to show up.
And from some of the behind-the-scenes shots that have come out, most of what we've seen of the Batman stuff seems to be a flashback to when Harley was first, I guess you'd say, created. So there's no telling how much weight that has on the story, whether or not Batman's totally there in flashback or he's there at current day trying to defeat all these villains. The one thing that they have said is that apparently all of the villains there in Bel Rev, the prison that you see them in, were put there by Batman. No other superhero did that. So if they have a grudge against Batman, that'd be fine. But if that was a thing, like, okay, Waller's sending them out there to get Batman, you'd kind of want to say that up front. Right. You know, because that would get people watching the movie.
But surely that's not what it is then if they haven't said that.
No, because we see them shooting at
other
something.
Things. Yeah.
Some other people out there in whatever city this is. We don't even know what city they're in.
So you think that this is the trailer showing mostly the beginnings of the movie and very little of second and third act kind of stuff?
Now that I probably agree with that, and I guess for that reason I'm okay, because a lot of movies lately give away the third act. Yeah, Batman versus Superman being the blatant example. Right. Everything about the third act was given away except maybe the last 5 minutes of the movie, and even then, come on, if you put things together, you see it coming. Yeah. But with this, yeah, they're trying to hype you up on too much of the beginning, I guess. So, what is that, like the trailer version of filling up on appetizers?
That sounds about right.
I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe they think if they overload you in the beginning, you won't care about the rest of the movie?
See, I would think
so
that...
I guess they're overcompensating?
Yeah, but it's kind of like the inverse of what they did for Batman versus Superman. They don't care so much about the beginning, but all the trailers show the end. Here, they're showing really hard the beginning to not show the end, but even then, it's not the right balance. Like, WB keeps having the wrong response, I think. And then, of course, this coming in on top of the news that they've gone back for reshoots, supposedly to show more of the humor.
Which,
in the
again,
movie.
Still worries me. That they had
because
to do this.
If you have to reshoot for humor, that means you didn't have enough humor the first time.
Yeah.
That worries me.
That is very worrying.
Especially in a movie where, yeah, you can have more fun, I guess. And I think that's really what they're trying to push, because a lot of the blowback from Batman vs. Superman is it wasn't fun. There was no joy. I couldn't put myself into the movie. Everybody was so dour and dark. And here, yeah, there's colors. They're pushing the colors. They're pushing the characters. And, yeah, you're right. It does feel like overcompensation a bit. So, I don't know.
Yeah, there's really not much more to say about the trailer, if I'm to be honest with you. It's kind of...
Well, we're kind of blocking half of it.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, we tend to do that.
But we still got 3 more to get through, so we can keep moving.
I do think that this is a better trailer than the last one.
It at least makes me... I don't feel scared to go see it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I am okay giving this one money, unlike how I felt about Batman v Superman.
Right.
But I really regret that.
I understand that.
I really regret that.
Okay, so let's move on to our second story, which consists of another 2. We're going to go ahead and start with the latest Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows trailer that we have here. This, of course, shows more of the creation of Bebop and Rocksteady there by Baxter Stockman.
Which I'm totally cool with. Shows the ooze. Everybody knows the ooze. The strange thing is that the ooze is purple now, rather than green. Bless you. No worries.
It's fine. But this is a different ooze, apparently, because, as I guess Donatello points out here in the trailer, this purple ooze can turn people into animals, so apparently the inverse is true. It can turn animals into people.
Well, that was true before. That's how, if you're going by the cartoon's logic, Shredder was first a human, and the thing he had most...
Shredder, you mean? Or
Splinter. Splinter was first a human, and then touched a rat, and then he turned into a rat dude.
That's right, because the ooze was purple in the cartoon.
It was kind of purple in the cartoon.
Kind of like neon.
Yeah, neon kind of purple.
Also, it was more of like a lavender lilac.
Yeah, kind of.
Pretty much.
Sorry, hi, makeup artist over here.
And then in the comics and our older movies,
it was green.
It was green,
like Nickelodeon green.
And the original source material said
Sorry,
that
I never liked that green.
It said that Splinter was first a rat who had most recently touched a human, and he turned.
Yeah, they just kind of flipped it.
Yeah, so it means the ooze has always worked both ways.
Well, see, the thing about it that I'm trying to figure out is because going off the last movie, they're going with the rat turned human. Mm-hmm. Whereas here, I don't know how heavily that's going to figure into the plot, because that doesn't even seem to be the biggest thing in the plot, at least to me, because we also see, obviously, people from Dimension X showing up these ships, and Krang there fighting against the turtles on top of some ship of some kind. Again, this ties to Blowback. You know, there were some complaints after the last movie. We didn't hate the last movie.
But that was certainly not my favorite Turtles movie.
And whereas here, it's like, no, we heard you. We're gonna... You want more like the cartoon? Yeah, we can do that, guys. Just give them what they want. Give them what they want. And that's actually okay.
Yeah.
There's no problem
only
there.
More studios actually listened like that. Warner Brothers.
To an extent, because you can, like, over-listen.
You could
That is true. That is very true.
You have to try to find a happy balance between listening and over-listening, I guess, for lack of a better term.
I think so far this is positive enough that this seems like a good balance of listening and being original and doing your own thing.
And not over-catering to your audience, because at that point...
Problem is they still have Megan Fox.
Yeah, we just have to give that conceit. We're not gonna win that fight. We lost that fight. But then again, like, to get... here you see Stephen Amell as Casey Jones. I still kind of think you couldn't have made a wig work on him. Really? Like, just little complaint. Small, tiny... It's
Some
fine.
people actually can't wear wigs because of their facial structure, actually. Because it puts pressure where pressure doesn't need to be, like on their temples or something.
And you would be able to see that,
Normally, I would be down with that excuse if it weren't for the fact that for the last 3 seasons of Arrow, every flashback he does, he has a long wig on. So that...
Again, I said some.
Some people...
Okay.
Yes, I agree with that.
Like 9 out of 10, you get that one, it's like, nope.
But on him, it doesn't fly. Because I've seen him. And he looks good with the long hair.
Okay.
I can say that. I like flashback Oliver's look. It's rugged. But here it's like, you're just missing that little bit, man. Like, you could have even used the flashback Oliver wig. I don't even care if he's not, brunette here. You could have left him blonde. Just give him the right length hair.
I think it's interesting that this trailer and the previous trailer, they've started implementing more 80s and early 90s sounding music and remixes and stuff, and it's like screaming at you, this is a thing that you remember from when you were kids, isn't that right, age 25 to 32 audience demographic?
And they're yelling back, yeah, we remember it, thank you. Like,
I'm sorry, but since it's going on behind us, the whole air surfing thing, does that not remind you of a certain Power Ranger movie?
I was thinking that too, like very much, especially the spin that Michelangelo's doing there. That's, what was it, Tommy did that spin?
Yeah, he did it on an air surfboard too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if they didn't pull that too as a matter of nostalgia, because that was, was 21 years ago.
Because that was almost shot for shot too, if you think about it.
It was 95?
Almost,
it was 95,
guys.
summer of 95.
Almost. It was very, very close. Very close.
No, Batman and Robin was 97. The Power Rangers movie came out in 95.
Yeah, so, Tommy did it first.
Right. So, again, if we're talking about cheesy air surfing in Batman and Robin, there was another example.
Mm-hmm.
If I have any sort of complaint about that, like I said, I gave up Megan Fox, is I wish I could see what the Shredder mask looks like. That's the only thing.
Yeah, if only. But maybe I'm okay with them revealing that later. I'd be okay with them revealing that Dimension X is a thing. We all know, like, where does Krang come from? He comes from Dimension X.
Like, we see a giant, Avengers-style hole in the sky, like, they probably came from there.
Yeah.
That's not hard.
So, I am okay with them not telling me everything, because I feel like I have seen enough to tell me this is worth giving it a chance. I'm not 100% convinced, because we're leading off of this last movie where I was not 100% convinced. But they're doing a pretty decent job of trying to calm me down and make me feel better, so I'm good. I'm good with that.
So yeah, we've got that. Now let's go ahead and move over to our other green friend, who's not so much green as like burnt charcoal now.
Mm-hmm.
Shin Godzilla. So,
okay.
Shin Godzilla will eventually get released over here as Godzilla Resurgence, and this maybe dropped, 5 hours ago? Something like that?
It was today.
It was today. And thank you to some of you guys there on Twitter who linked us to that. We were out taking care of stuff earlier today, so thank you. You guys gave us the drop on that. So, go Twitter audience. But yes, this is our first in-motion look. Because we had a teaser before, and it was just people running through the streets of Japan, which didn't really tell us very much.
Yeah, now this looks like it's actually showing the condition of course, how is it much different from any other Godzilla movie where, the government has to come in and they're like, oh, Godzilla's here, what are we gonna do? I don't know, let's talk about it. I don't agree with your decision. Like, and none of this dialogue is actually here in this trailer, it's all silent, but you can tell that, like, this is the conversation that's happening.
See, this is the thing that actually worries me, because looking at this trailer, there's no dialogue. It's all done with just background music. But there's a lot of people shots in this, and that worries me.
But Godzilla has always had a lot of films that primarily feature the people freaking out about Godzilla.
Yeah.
It's not new, but I would like to see more Godzilla. Granted, I'm still concerned about the look of this Godzilla, who looks like he just got out of a flaming car wreck and he's still on fire. And he's severely burned over 95% of his body.
From what we're told, apparently, this isn't even his final form.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
He will evolve over the course of the movie.
As long as he doesn't end up looking like Malagor.
No, he's not going to look like... But I see the reference, though, because, seeing the red pop out from underneath the skin. Yeah, again, another kind of sort of weird Power Ranger-ish reference there. But yeah, I totally see it. And the director there, Hideaki Anno, who, of course, is most famous for Evangelion, at the helm of this, he's got to have a reason for wanting to do this style, this way of showing us, I want to show you this trailer with no dialogue. You guys figure it out. Oh no, that didn't work so well the last time you told us just figure it out when it came to Evangelion, so I need a little bit more. Give me something here. Because, we see ships, we see helicopters, we see tanks, we see them shooting at Godzilla, but he's not really causing that much destruction.
In fact, right in the very first shot, he swings his tail completely over every single building and doesn't hit anything.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out where they're coming from with this. One noticeable thing here is that his tail seems even longer than normal.
Like it's I don't way know if I'm the only one. Over his head and way back.
Because granted, if I'm understanding correctly, going back to 2014 Godzilla, his tail should be about equal the length of his body, thereabouts. But it seems like that and a half, or like 2 times as long. Hopefully we'll get official stats on that, but I'm just trying to figure out, like, where are they going with the story here?
Speaking from a logical point of view, in terms of the tail, a lizard's tail technically is as long as its body,
Right.
because that's how they judge if they can get through a doorway or not.
For judging space.
For spatial reasoning.
Yeah.
Okay,
So technically, the tail is illogically long.
Illogically long,
Yes. Okay, so, we're trying to figure out, what I don't know, what are you trying to tell us here? Because, granted, the original Gojira was that in that story, Godzilla was an allegory for the fallout of nuclear radiation.
Yeah.
And I don't think Anno's completely gonna blow over that. Like, no, they want to show this, especially in the wake of what happened with Fukushima.
Absolutely, yes.
So here, and we see some of the disaster area there looking very much like real world pictures of around Fukushima.
So I can't tell whether this is actually Godzilla being a villain, or this is mankind villainizing Godzilla, and he technically hasn't done anything wrong, and mankind is the real monster here. And
That seems to be a recurring theme in videos. It's like,
Yeah.
the monster is not who you think it is. It was us the whole entire time.
Man
But
is the monster
we're
the
gonna
whole
right out
time.
say that.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'm
kind of
really
a Frankenstein-esque sort of
I'm
thing.
kind of wondering about that here, actually.
I actually wouldn't put it past him to do that, because looking at him, if we're seeing Godzilla and he is kind of walking through a city there in Japan, but he's not like blatantly thrashing about like he normally does. He's not going into combat with like Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, or anybody like that. He's out. He's walking.
He's just out for a stroll, guys.
Exactly. Unless he's just walking a dog or something.
Yeah.
Just going out for a pack of smokes. Why are you shooting at me, man?
It's like, I'm trying to find my lost puppy!
Look, I just came out to get some onigiri, and I'm feeling really attacked right now. Because, you see all the serious faces here, like, oh, this is a real threat, we have to deal with this, but what does Godzilla want? Because sometimes in the movie, there'll be the person that's like, well, what about Godzilla's feelings? What about him? We need to be concerned with him. Not, completely villainize him. And then there's always the one person that's like, no, nuke him. And, they send out...
And then they just piss him off even more. Yeah, that's the thing that happens.
That would be something, I guess, if that potentially was where they were going with it. Like, he hasn't done anything wrong. We're just picking on him because, I don't know, he looks different. And then in the process of trying to get rid of him, he just gets stronger, Hulk style.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes him... Like, we kind of projected, or the people of Japan kind of project onto him what kind of a monster he is, and they end up turning him into that monster.
Yeah.
That would be a cool story.
That would be
if
a
told
cool story.
correctly.
So long as Anno doesn't end it with a no-budget kind of ending where you have to figure it out.
No, I don't want that. I don't want the psychological
I think
ending.
I've actually seen the whole, they try to stop something from happening, but then they end up creating exactly what they're trying to stop.
In that sense, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah, I've seen it done badly numerous times.
That is true. That can be said of any number of movies. Hopefully not here, because again, we're kind of having to project onto this because he's made the decision not to tell us what these people are going through. We just kind of have to assume it's all related to Godzilla.
Right.
I just hope it's not too, I guess, political. Like there's not too much jargon thrown around. Like, oh, we have to have a cabinet meeting about this. Like, no.
But they're having like we just saw that
Yeah,
cabinet meeting.
Are you not thinking just
Okay,
put on behind
I
you?
hope there's not more than one cabinet meeting.
All
All
right,
right,
all right.
let's put it that way.
Well, maybe it was more of a press conference, really. what I
Okay,
was
that's
saying.
fine. Like war room meetings, that's fine. You got to tell the tanks where to go. I can live with that. Other than that, I don't want them, adding the policy scenes like in Contact, where it's all just bogged down by politics and legalism. No, let me see if try to blow him up. I want some of that. And that's the other thing too. If you notice, when those tanks are firing on him, he doesn't even budge.
Yeah.
Like other movies, he'll kind of.
I think I heard him roar like once in the entire trailer.
I think you hear him roar at the beginning.
Yeah.
Other
That's
than
about
that,
it. Wouldn't he, for lack of a better word, talk more if he was truly being attacked? Like,
Yeah.
what was bothering him, I guess, for lack of a better term?
I mean, there is the
This
possibility.
Godzilla probably is not bothered by much. He doesn't look like much of anything hurts him.
Well,
right
I
now.
think I might be
Or he's
misremembering
in pain
this.
all the time.
That's possible too.
He looks like he might be in pain all the time.
Yeah, like he could use some lotion. All right, like this Godzilla needs lotion.
He's-
Like-
I got some moisturizer that can help.
Yeah.
Probably.
Seriously, get this guy some moisturizer.
Like
I don't think there's much else we can really cover with this, but I want to know more.
But I
'cause
am
it doesn't
interested.
look like a bad movie to me. Not yet. It looks like something where I'm concerned that you're not telling me as much as you could be telling me, and we're only a couple months out from the release.
Right, because that's coming out this summer.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I imagine this isn't going to be the last trailer we get. We're probably going to want to see something that draws in a little more of the action core, hardcore kaiju crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, it's nice enough to see him back, but we want to make sure he's back in a way that will satisfy.
Right, understandable.
Yeah.
I guess I'm done with that one.
Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and move on to our...
Next!
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our last trailer of the evening, which is going to be Doctor Strange, starting right here at the beginning. This, of course, like I said at the top of the show, debuted on Jimmy Kimmel Live last night.
Yeah, so we're right on top of this one, too.
Yes.
Yeah!
And now we've got our first real look at Benedict Cumberbatch in the role of Stephen Strange. Here we see the car accident that ends up changing his life. As some of you may or may not know, the way the story works is that Stephen Strange was a brilliant surgeon.
Neurosurgeon, to be precise.
Yes, and he made very much, he needs the use of his hands. Well, after this car accident, he loses that. He can't control them as readily as he could.
He basically becomes numb from his wrists up.
Right, and you need that in order to hold a scalpel the way you need to. So his whole career is gone. He can't do that anymore. So in searching for a way to try and heal himself, he ends up coming into the path of the Ancient One, who is, of course, here in this trailer, or in the movie, I should say, played by actress Tilda Swinton, who reveals to him the mystical world that surrounds him that he has no concept of whatsoever. And it's through this that he ends up learning that he doesn't exactly need his hands the way he thinks he does. In fact, he's destined for something greater.
Something that he does not know that he wants, but at the same time, he cannot want it.
Right. There's that kind of weird dichotomy there of you don't realize what you want until it's presented to you.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the visuals in this trailer, first thing I thought of, Inception.
Yeah.
It looks very Inception-y.
Looks very Inception, looks very Matrix. So as someone who doesn't know Doctor Strange very well, it does seem like a very interesting, mind-bendy kind of a movie. I'm thinking that I can't tell whether this movie is showing mostly just beginning sort of stuff, because we don't actually see him like really become this Doctor Strange
that we recognize
entity except for that last second there at the end where you see the billowing cloak, but it's just this this shadow of him, this silhouette,
right?
And you don't see full brightly colored costume.
But you can tell from all of these other pictures that's him, the Doctor Strange we know, and he's there in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Like, that shot for me, that sold it. Like, okay, I want to see that. I want to see him get to that.
Mm-hmm. What kind of... Okay, again, this is coming from just seeing the animated movie.
Yes.
To me, what kind of sold me, I guess, on like, okay, yeah, that is Stephen Strange, is when you see him dressed in his doctor scrubs, and he's holding up his hands like he's doing behind me, and then you see another shot of him in the bed with his hands facing the other way, bandaged up after the accident.
Right, very much
me,
using...
that is when you see him. That's to me that was just like, oh, shoot!
Yeah.
It was that kind of moment, and it's like, okay, this guy can do it.
He
that
loses
was that,
himself.
Well, that was that moment.
I'll say this much about the animated movie. It's not a bad movie. It's really not. It's just kind of dry. The storytelling wasn't exactly the most flourishing or entertaining for that. They're just very much point A, point B, point C. They just went plot point to plot point. It's not...
Well, yeah, because they were also making, like, 13 other movies at the time.
Admittedly, yeah. And
it sounds like they were just trying to get the job done to tell you this is a thing that happens to this character.
But admittedly, a lot of the beats that I'm seeing here in the trailer mimic that animated movie quite a bit, which isn't bad. I even said as much. We had this conversation before about how if they were going to do that, just adapt the animated movie and give it some color.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a little more character, and that seems to be what they've done here.
And I like what they've done with this. With it, honestly, I mean, again, speaking as someone who's only seen the animated movie, I got that same feeling I got when I watched the animated movie, but at the same time, it's like I feel like I got more out of that,
right.
Which is good because that's kind of what I wanted, because they got more time, they got more budget, they got a better actor.
Absolutely.
So an actor that can actually work with real expressions, not just trying to get it out vocally, but also like with the body language and the motions,
yes.
and the eye expressions. I'm an eye girl, so I go for that.
Well, see, here, again, I guess to go ahead and talk about Benedict here in the role, this is the first taste we're getting of him. Something can be said about his accent. Of course, here he's masking his natural British accent with kind of a gruff, almost like Hugh Laurie's house voice.
Luckily, I think he does a pretty good job covering it. And it was funny, we were just watching a rerun from a few weeks back of Stephen Colbert's The Late Show.
Right.
And he had on
Tom
Hiddleston,
who plays Loki.
And he's just came out with another movie.
I Saw the Light.
I Saw the Light, which is a biopic of who's the
Hank Williams.
Hank Williams. And of course, Hank Williams was a country musician, and so Tom Hiddleston is British, and he's having to do this southern twang, and it was like not working.
Well, because I was noticing this much, at least of say like David Tennant when he was doing the Broadchurch version, the Americanized version, Grace Point over here, where he used an American accent and not his Scottish that he used in Broadchurch. Mm-hmm. He was pretty okay, but certain words, certain vowels, he couldn't not hide his native tongue there. Whereas here, I think he's going to be able, Benedict's going to have an easier time with it. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of the time, if you're just doing a straight up voice, sometimes it's a little harder. Whereas if you add a little bit more gruff on it, a little more grizzle, then you can help mask certain things better. Like, oh, that's just the way he talks. He sounds like a grizzled person all the time.
I also think a very straight and flat general North American accent is probably easier to do than this southern twang that Tom Hiddleston had to do.
Right.
Like, straight up, not even worrying about which region you're coming from.
Yeah, basically, it's one thing to talk like this, it's another thing to talk like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Very different.
And I've heard that a lot of British actors say southern is the hardest thing. Michael Caine said that when he did Secondhand Lions, he had to really focus to get down the southern act. There's certain words you have to gravitate towards.
Oh, I've heard in some British television shows where somebody had to, for some stupid reason, be in Old Southwest or something, and they cannot get southern twang down to save their lives, and British people don't know, they can't friggin' tell the difference, so they just, well, whatever, they just got somebody to do something and hope that nobody calls them out on it.
Now, the thing about Doctor Strange as a movie in the whole of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that this is the movie that introduces the concept of straight-up magic. Whereas Thor, we would look at it as magic here, and they explain it as such, but really he's more of an alien.
Yeah.
Just somebody from another world.
Yeah, because they're basing it off mythology and lore.
But kind of tempering that with, well, there's still a scientific explanation for this. We just don't have it here on Earth, but they have it in Asgard.
So my only previous kind of knowledge about Doctor Strange, admittedly, it has come up in the chat too, about that really stupid, bad, horrible 1970s TV movie.
What was it? Film Brain, Nash, Lewis, and of course Justin in on that review. And really, again, they did a great job on that. Go watch that and realize how lucky we are to be getting this. Because it doesn't look nearly that crappy.
Yeah.
But yeah, since they're introducing magic in here, I guess that's part of why they're going for these big sort of...
Which just makes me so mad now to go back and think about, it was the third Iron Man movie, right? That had, what is villain that we got?
Mandarin?
Mandarin. And I was just so, disappointed, because that should have been the...
That should have been the intro to magic.
That should have been the ultimate, machine versus magic sort of movie, and that is not a thing that we got.
You're absolutely right, yeah.
I think that is probably my most disappointing Marvel Cinematic Universe movie to this date, actually.
Yeah, because...
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone agrees that was kind of the worst kind of...
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we were robbed of that fight. Because, granted, you can be happy that you got a couple of extremist people versus, 40 armors all at once. But, when they're tearing through them like paper, I don't feel the weight, that's supposed to have, the spectacle of it all. Whereas here, I think I'm going to get the spectacle of what a magician fight is going to be.
And also, if you think about it, this is also a great setup for the Black Panther movie because T'Challa walks the fine line of magic and technology.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
So
with
this
that.
is a perfect setup because we got the extremists of science, from like Tony and Age of Ultron and all that.
Right.
And now we're getting the extremists of magic from Doctor Strange, and then when Black Panther comes out, we're gonna get both.
That actually, I honestly hadn't thought about that. You're right.
Because if you think about it, if they go this route, I don't know anything. Don't quote me, but Black Panther originally gets his powers from a god, specifically the Panther god Bast.
Right.
And again, that's a magical being where he gets all his powers from. But at the same time, he's not. Wakanda does think outside the box, so to speak. They are way ahead of us technology-wise.
Right.
So they depend on both.
Right.
Magic and technology. And so...
So you're saying that because that helps... This movie will help set up the other extreme end of magic versus technology. That's the reason this comes out first and then Black Panther?
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
That is a pretty good setup.
Set up the extremes first before coming to the middle. Saying, hey, despite what these two groups think, there can be a balance. Here you
Black
go.
Panther.
Here's King T'Challa.
And actually, in that sense, that's actually a really good marketing strategy because then you get people who liked one more than the other. There's something in there for both audiences. And then, that'll appeal widely. Yeah, that's... Way to go, Marvel. That's actually really smart. I mean, not that I doubted you. I mean, maybe I did a little bit after Iron Man 3, but, we're cool. We got past that. We worked that on therapy.
That's out the window.
Yeah. But this coming out in November, it's very interesting. Like, we're kind of sort of dressing up a little bit tomorrow. I think down the road, I wouldn't mind. I really like it's not so much a modernized, just a different take on his traditional outfit, because it's more like robes and, he's got the traditional cape, he's got his, amulet.
He looks
there.
like a magician, if you ask me. In
you
the
got
other photos
the hands there.
Yeah. Gotta love the Eye of Agamotto.
Yes, you have to have the Eye of Agamotto. Now, the question, of course, and we'll wrap up on this, based on previous movies, is there a possibility that the Eye of Agamotto will actually be another Infinity Gem?
I think so, because if you think about it, they're supposed to spell out Thanos, right?
Right.
In necklace. Eye of Agamotto.
Maybe.
And it's already rumored that he has the time gem.
Well, I don't know if he has the time gem or the one guy from Adam Warlock might have the time gem.
Actually, it's been confirmed that Adam Warlock will not be showing up in the MCU.
No, you're right. You're right. They did say that. Okay.
Because he's too much like Vision.
Right. Okay.
So if you think about it, Steven's perfect.
Yeah, then they could have just pawned it off to him. But, again, that depends on what we see coming out of this next Guardians movie.
Yep, and
when is Guardians supposed to be coming out?
Next year.
Next year?
Yeah, they're filming right now.
Was that, I forget, is it before or after Black Panther?
I want to say it's after. Dang, I should have had that up.
That's okay.
We'll look it up
you
in the
can
post.
answer in the chat, please do.
Yeah.
They normally do. These guys are up on it.
Yeah, we got a good group of people here.
Yeah, but we got relatively 2 minutes left. I think this is a good place to stop on this story.
Yeah, so this is gonna wrap it up for the main portion of the show, and thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out with us. If you are here live with us, we're doing, of course, as usual, another 30 minutes of Q&A time, and CosmeticQT is gonna be sticking around for more Q&A stuff. Yeah, we're excited about that. If you are not live with us right now, if you're watching this afterwards, after we have recorded this, that's okay, but you really should be getting down here to be with us.
Come on.
Typically, it's on Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Central. Come down to youtube.com/MarsGirl, and you get to hang out with all the people over here. They're somewhere
on this other side of CosmeticQT.
Yeah.
They're on my shoulder somewhere.
Yes.
They're all good people, and man, so many of you guys, I'm so glad you were able to come out on a Wednesday instead of a Thursday. I know it's a bizarre thing to suddenly ask of you guys to do, but thank you so much for being here. Yeah.
And, of course, next week we'll be back at our regular time, 9 p.m. Central, on this channel, so you guys will see us again on Thursday. Mm-hmm. We'll go back to normal. It'll be fine.
But social media, of course.
Yes, during the week, if you ever want to talk to us, you can find us on social media. I'm at Josh Knight First.
I'm at MarsGirl.
I'm at CosmeticQT88.
Yeah.
Yes, and this has been tonight's special Wednesday episode of Beyond the Black Rims. We will see you guys again at our regular time next week.
All right, goodbye, everybody. Yeah.
Bye-bye.